The holiday is one of the happiest times of the year for many kids, but sadly that is not the case for all children. Danny Glenwright is with the organization Save the Children, and he joins us this morning with some ways that we can all help out at this time of year. Danny, it's good to see you. Good morning.
Good to be here. You know, I think the challenging thing for the work that we do is this is one of the most desperate times of the year for so many children right now globally. We are seeing the impacts of climate shocks, of conflict, escalating conflict, really driving displacement and upending communities. And I think a challenge for us that we're facing when we talk about the holidays is that right now 45 million children globally are facing acute malnutrition. Not something you associate with this time of year.
Talk a bit about that, because I know you've traveled to well over 100 countries. You've seen this firsthand. What can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that it's a desperate time, and it's worse than we've seen in many decades because of all of those impacts that I've talked about. Right now, more than 780 million people don't know where they're getting their next meal. And what I'm seeing when I travel to places is that this means families are having to make really difficult choices we don't have to make here in Canada quite often, but, you know, it's skipping meals, pulling their children from school, making sure that their children are working so that they can provide for their family, and that upends their future. And so I was recently in South Sudan a couple of months ago, and that's a country that's a really complex environment where 3/4 of the population relies on humanitarian aid. And at Save the Children, we've seen with aid cuts over the past year, we've had to close nutrition clinics where there's life-saving services. We've had to reduce services in others. And I met many mothers who walked half a day to some of our clinics just to have their child treated. And you look into the faces of those children whose, you know, they're unable to cry because they're so sick. Their hair is falling out. And that's the face of hunger right now globally. And that's one of the things we're trying to address.
And because this is a year-round issue, sadly, you always have work to do. Tell us more about what Save the Children does. You said you were treating families. What is happening on the ground? Yeah,
at Save the Children, we deserve that. We believe, that all children deserve a future, no matter where in the world they are born. They should have the ability, and we work really hard to make sure that they have a healthy start in life, get an education, and are protected from harm. And that's one of the reasons why we work so closely when it comes to hunger. We treated 37 million children last year across the world and here in Canada from hunger-related issues. And at Save the Children, that includes everything from providing health clinics, mobile health clinics, clean water, making sure that children have a safe place to learn and to play. And it's one of the reasons why this holiday season we are launching an urgent appeal to raise $1 million to tackle these issues that I'm talking about. The good news for supporters of Save the Children is that every dollar donated is going to be matched, so it doubles your impact. And that's really important to address crises and this escalating crisis in places like Gaza, South Sudan, and Somalia, and elsewhere.
Yeah, well, listen, for those that are watching this morning and want to help out with the fantastic work that your organization does, this holiday season, I understand that you've got a unique way of raising funds?
We do. It's called Gifts of Joy, and we run this every year at this time of year, and it's an excellent opportunity to make a meaningful contribution to children, those that I've mentioned all over the world, but also for those looking for a gift for families. You know, this is a great opportunity. If you forgot a teacher at your children's school, for grandparents, for colleagues, you can honor them this holiday season with a gift through Gifts of Joy. One of the gifts that I think aligns to what I'm talking about is for $92, and I'll share those with you. This is ready-to-use therapeutic food, or what we call Plumpy Nut high-protein peanut paste. For $92, you can give one child a 6-week course of this treatment, and after 6 weeks, they're healthy again. And that's all it takes. And for the moms that I met in South Sudan, I have to walk a long way to the clinic. The beauty of this product is we can send it home with them, so they don't have to come back and forth to the clinic. They can administer this to their children at home for 6 weeks, and their child is healthy again. And then there's, of course, the classics like buy a goat or a chicken for a family member and make sure that a child somewhere in the world has access to eggs or milk or something nutritious during the holiday season, or that a family can start a livestock business and they have a little bit of extra income. This year, we are also launching what we're called Recipes of Joy. So for everybody who donates to the Gifts of Joy catalog or buys a gift, they get a downloadable recipe book that includes recipes and stories from some of Canada's top chefs, chefs like our ambassador, Roger Mooking, chefs like Vic Van Beej, and celebrities as well like Chantal Kreviazuk.
Well, this is, the timing Couldn't be better, given this is the time of giving, and gifts of joy are really gifts of life for these children and their families. Danny, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.